88.5 WQOX, Memphis, Tennessee. It is Brother John on this Friday. It's a little wet outside, ladies and gentlemen, but it's shining up in here. And let me tell you why it's shining up in here on the radio station is because we have somebody in the building who is, I want to say she's more than a friend. Like, she's been about the work for a long time. She's been an advocate for the community for a long time. She cares about our homeless population. She cares about folks in the Orange Mound community more than anybody I've seen. She got the juice. And y'all in Orange Mound, when we say juice, y'all know who comes to mind. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to open a can of worms. But in the building with me, I have somebody who serves on the Shelby County Commission. And I don't want to say she's a baby in it, but she's new, but she's learning, and she's out here putting in work, meeting with who she needs to meet with so that she can serve this community better. And if I know her, give it a few more months, she's going to be running laps around everybody talking about, yeah, we're going to get things done. But she can't do it by herself, ladies and gentlemen. Let's remember that. In the building with Brother John on this wonderful Friday, I have Commissioner Brittangy Thornton in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Brittany with the best.
Brittangy with the best. I like that. Girl, how you been?
Listen, I've waiting on this opportunity.
Okay. Oh, you've been waiting on this opportunity.
Waiting to get back into the seat.
But you've been working. You've been grinding. And every time she see me, Brother John, when can I come on? I say, okay, let's get our calendars aligned and let's make it happen.
Yes.
But I'm glad you're here. The number one reason is because we haven't heard from you in a minute. We haven't heard from some of the others, but this is a platform that belongs to you all.
Yeah.
If we air your meetings every once, twice a month and not hear from y'all,
right.
It's like maybe y'all can come in and kind of break down what happened at the meeting the night before, the week after, because I really want people to be more engaged, not only in the county commission meeting, the city council, the school board meeting.
Yeah.
Because, you'll learn a lot just from sitting in any one of those meetings. And then you'll be like, oh, they award this people this money and this gets recognized. But if we don't have our stuff right, then we just going to always be on the sidelines talking about coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
All right. So now we got the particulars out the way. But Brittangy, for real, how has it been now that you're on the other side? Because when you was in these streets fighting, advocating, now it's people that's fighting and advocating, against y'all, on that seat. But how has it been from going from being in the street to being in the chair and you seeing it from both sides now? But now you on that side.
Yeah.
How has that been?
Well, first, it's so good to be in your presence.
Oh, girl,
I remain a fan.
Wow.
And you've really been cutting up. So
I'm just here
to just say you hot. Okay?
Uh-oh.
You hot.
Don't say that too much now. Folks gonna be like, Brother John, what you done paid her to say that for?
The building on fire, okay? So it's just like, I keep looking at the levels. And just since my last visit, like, you really have just taken this into like a whole nother level of just operation. So on behalf of the commission, thank you.
Wow.
Because I talk to so many people who say that they tune in to hear the meetings.
Wow.
And that is so important because, you just wonder, you're advocating so hard. And if they're not in the chambers, you're like,
right.
Do they know about what we're doing? Do they know how we're voting?
Right.
And so I have that question all the time. Wow. My constituents, they're supportive of me as a concept. They're like, young girl, young lady, just go. You just there, I know you do, but they don't actually know the particulars.
The particulars. That's it. The particulars.
And the devil's in the details.
The devil's in the details.
Okay.
Amen. Yes, ma'am.
So, the crossover has been, it's interesting. I sit back. I remember the very first day I went into our garage and, you see your name on the plaque. You have your little finger to get into the back elevator.
Uh-huh.
Everything starts to be exclusive. And I'm just like, is this my real life?
Right.
Like this is me. Like,
because you went through the other elevator before.
Exactly. Like, didn't even know that this little backdoor elevator existed, And so now it's just clockwork. You pull you're like, get out my parking spot, like
automation.
Exactly.
Right.
And so it's just been so interesting just to see the evolution of me as a young leader. I'm the only Black millennial holding down a generation.
Holding down a generation.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
It is tough. And
Wow.
so, yeah, it's been a learning exercise. How to move these monies is the number one, um, game to play. And so it is politics, it's everything that you see on TV and more.
Mm-hmm.
It's local, it's your folks,
It's
on
your
all of
folks.
our bodies. We have predominantly black bodies
Mm-hmm.
with unprecedented amounts of women who are elected. So it's just a really interesting experience. I could not be more grateful. It really is like more and more just a sense of gratitude. Thank you for this opportunity to the constituents that put me in this seat. And also, don't send me back to Orange Mound getting beat up.
Oh
All
no,
right.
okay, no,
I,
no, man,
I
no, man.
am one of many players.
Yes, man.
I am just a junior player
Well, hold
on the
up, well, hold,
league.
hold, hold on.
Okay.
I got to clear that up though because I hadn't met him. It may be some out there,
Yeah, yeah.
but I seen your work and I saw the brother that does. I met the brother that does the tiny homes,
Yeah.
Dwayne
Dwayne Jones.
Yo, shout out to that brother
Yeah.
because he showed me this years ago, and now I'm seeing it all over the country.
Yeah.
Where people's doing this tiny homes.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do something in Orange Mound,
Yeah.
and I thought that was unprecedented.
Yeah. Yeah.
So him, you, and I think somebody from a arts commission tried to get on a few years ago, but
Yeah.
until if y'all want to meet with Brother John, y'all want to come up here and talk about what y'all doing, no problem.
Yeah.
But I seen you do the work,
Yeah.
and back when you had doing juice, and you was up here talking about it, explaining it, that put me up on CDCs and all that stuff. I never knew about that until you
Yeah.
started talking about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I put you out there on the pedestal like that.
Well, I appreciate you for creating this platform just to let folks know it's a lot of us. And it's a good segue because tomorrow we're having a conference in Orange Mound.
Ooh, way to tie it together.
I'm telling you, just flipping it a little bit.
What y'all tell them what you got going on?
Yeah, so we got this conference in Orange Mound. It'll be at Red Zone Ministries.
Okay.
They have a new multi-million-dollar facility on Park Avenue.
Multi-million-dollar
New
facility
for
on Park Avenue?
Yes, for our students. Our students are winning in Orange Mound. It's right across
Whoa.
the street from our new pre-K facility. So
What?
our pre-K through 12 is on point.
Gotcha.
Send your kids to Orange Mound because we have high state-of-the-art facilities that we can send our kids through. Now the question is, when they turn 18, what does that experience look like?
Okay.
Because we got a hidden senior citizen facility. And that's always been the premise of Juice. It's just been to hold space for that missing middle. Once you turn 18 up until when you're 60, it's rough. It's rough.
These folks calling.
Who calling?
Who calling right
Who
now?
calling?
Hey, look, y'all got to call back or text us. Text us. Y'all want to jump in here and talk about, look, and if you calling up here trying to say something about Brother John, we need to get on there. Yes, it's a process. Text us 901-881-0885.
That's what I'm talking about. Phone's ringing.
Somebody just ringing. Look, you got the phone lines jumping up here. We ain't gonna answer it though, because you gotta text us. Text us, please. Please text us.
I love it.
But see what you doing up here? You
These
coming up
devices,
here
I'm telling you.
You bringing all this information up here and driving folks crazy. Brother John, we want to get on the air. But look, send a text message. Text message us, the person that's calling, 901-881-0885. Let me know what's up in the text, and then maybe we let you talk. But it's about Miss Thornton right now, Commissioner Thornton, and we appreciate you want to talk, but text us first.
I love it.
That's what we do. So tomorrow, talking about that facility, and how long has the facility been open?
It's new. I think it's within a year.
Within a year?
Yeah. So we are renting out the facility. We are bringing a plans and partnerships conference to Orange Mound.
Plans and partnerships.
Plans and partnerships.
Uh-oh.
Let that sink in.
Plans and partnerships.
We didn't say venting and complaining.
Okay.
It's a plans and partnerships. So
gotta have a plan.
Look, you're a pretty tall man.
Yes, ma'am. 6'8", 6'9".
You might have a little basketball.
Yeah, got a little basketball experience. Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't play basketball. I actually didn't even make.
Oh, I
the
thought you was getting ready to go there. I'm like, wait a minute, she talking basketball lingo.
But you got to have an offense to play, right?
That's right.
Okay. And so where's our offensive play at the community level? We have defensive posture.
Right.
We know how to tear things down, critique them, break them apart. But how do we know how to construct, collaborate, and just plan?
Wow.
How do we strategize? And so this space is just a collaborative space. We got 6 different topics. Partner with Rhodes College. It's been 5 years now of actual partnership. Rhodes College. It's quiet as it's kept.
Rhodes,
like the Rhodes College.
The Rhodes College. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. All right.
Juice Orange Mound has been in partnership with them, and created this plan that actually has been recognized by the American Planning Association. So we've been real low key, like real humble, like real quiet about this work. But now it's time for us to pivot into an offensive posture to say, listen, this is budget season. Everybody listening?
Uh-oh,
This
pay
is
attention.
budget season.
Pay attention.
I came here to
Budget.
teach.
Budget.
I came here to teach.
Teach them,
Let me
sis.
tell
Teach
you,
them.
I'm telling you. So it's budget season. And, as a citizen, nobody's ever told me, like, oh, it's budget season. What would you like to do? But then as an elected, I'm like, dang, like I'm holding space. Year one for me is the first time elected. I'm holding space for constituents off of concepts. And all of the, the executors, they're like, what are the actual, where does the money go? Where do the contracts go? Like they wanted the technical answers to the concepts. And I'm like, I only got the vision. I don't really have the, the plan. And so this year too, I'm like, man, I have to go to the community level to say, what are your plans? Right? How can I possibly advocate for you if I don't know what your plans are? And so what has become wildly apparent to me is that our communities need more support. And so this space is for the 38114, 38111 zip codes. Within those zip codes, there's like 8 different sub neighborhoods. You got Glenview, Magnolia, Castelia, Cherokee, Imogene Heights, Bethel Grove, all these communities.
Like the realest neighborhoods in Memphis.
Talk about it.
I'm just saying, well, hold up. Those are part of some of the greatest neighborhoods in Memphis.
Right the first time. Some of
I gotta be straight because I gotta represent Whitehaven, But you're right, and that's something. It's not just one community. It's several. It's hundreds, really, if you break it down. And to do this work, Brittany, how do you keep going? Because you may not get everything you ask for.
Right.
Some of our community members and advocates may not get the things that they need.
Yeah.
But finding that middle road, because you didn't get this, but you got this. It seemed like you got to walk a fine line and be thankful and appreciative, but still work harder and tell your people, yo, make sure you get your stuff straight. Got to get your paperwork straight, ladies and gentlemen, because that's another thing that's been hindering us, making sure our paperwork is on point. Somebody said, well, Brother John, I want to be a vendor to the district. I'm like, okay, cool. You got a business license, you got this and all this on. Nah, I just, I make hot wings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll stay with you. You make hot wings, but you got a business, you got an LLC.
Right.
Well, nah, I just make hot wings.
Yeah.
I said, if you make hot wings, you can turn that into a business, but there's stuff that you have to do before the district even mess with you.
Yeah.
Have the paperwork. And is that kind of similar on the county side? How does it work for the county side?
It's like I'm playing you for these cues that you're giving me.
I'm playing.
We're in sync.
It's called in basketball. It's the alley-oop.
Hey,
you catch it and then you dunk it. There it is.
We're gonna just slam dunk. Okay.
Slam dunk.
So what's powerful in what you're saying is, one, we're actually gonna do a Get Certified with the County workshop tomorrow from 1 to 3.
Okay.
So if you are a small business owner and you can relate to what Brother John has said, come on out tomorrow because we're going to teach you how to get certified. When you get certified with the county, you also get certified with the city.
Whoa.
Hey.
Really?
Hey.
Look in the camera and say that one more time.
When you get certified with the county, we have reciprocity, you get certified with the city. So what this means is that whenever contracts are put up for bid, you have to be certified as a vendor.
That's number one.
That's number one.
Wow.
So we're gonna help ground, and that's coming from a lot of hard work. I'm literally on a warpath with minority contract spend on the county. We spend 5% with minorities.
Yeah, we went through that a few years ago here in Memphis.
Do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're about 55% black, and I said minority. I didn't even say black spend. So we're within the subset of minorities. Okay.
You didn't say black spend.
I didn't say black spend,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
But we are the blackest city in the nation per capita.
That's fact.
That's fact. Do you understand? So it's just like, yes.
You said you bringing education to us today.
I'm not kidding. Like, we got to get down into the granular, like, give me my data. Give me my data about how you're serving me. So I can tell you now that as a commissioner representing more disenfranchised communities, it's difficult because if you want me to advocate for funds, I need your plans. And so it is truly a labor of love in this public service role. I enjoy what I do, but I do want to be better at it. So because I'm so competitive, I don't like losing. Right. So that first season, literally Afghan refugees got more in budget amendments than my district. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. And so, what is painfully obvious to me is that I got to build coalitions around me. You got a fighter, but the way that this politics works, you got to have some hitters behind your fighter. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta have some
And
hitters.
what that
Right.
looks like is just literally, I have seen Whitehaven and Ford. He was able to get $2.5 million dedicated for their initiatives. And you know how he did it?
How?
He packed out the house. You know, the only thing that makes your elected officials shaky?
What?
You and a bunch of you
Really?
constituents in one place puts us
Oh.
on hush mode. You understand?
So now you done dropped the gym to us. You done dropped the gym.
Y'all come out there and pack up that house. I've seen amazing things happen. I've seen $2,500 allocations go up to $37,000. I've seen $2.5 million bogart its way into a budget. Y'all come out.
Just from the constituents, ladies, the constituents is us. So we show up, and cause we show up when we want certain things.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So when I remember one time we had this one campaign, something about the children. And I was like, the students deserve more.
Right.
Right? And it was it was dope campaign. But when it was over, I said to myself, but the students always deserve more.
Right.
But it planted a seed that, okay, yeah, they deserve more every single year. We need to have nice schools, and we thank y'all for talking about allowing us to build two new schools.
Now,
Was
consider the source. Keep up with your politics now.
Okay, all right.
We'll talk about that.
Okay, so, but I remember when they said a new school in Cordova and Fraser. So that was last year. And
right.
Thank you.
Right.
Now, I've heard that it may be some things about that, and we'll say that for another day.
Yeah, yeah.
But just the thought of a new school brings a nice new energy to a community, no matter where it is, right? But when I heard of a Fraser High School, and I'm listening to, I had the pastor Ricky Floyd on here the other day, and how he was saying how Fraser, it could be booming, right?
Yeah.
But all the communities could be booming in this city.
Now hold that point. Because right now, what I've come to realize is that we have a government that serves some and not all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't have any children, but if I did, I wouldn't let you just talk about building a new school in Fraser and the ceilings falling in on my kids across the way.
Right.
My kids need access to a high quality facility while your kids do too.
Right.
And the fact that anybody within MSCS has access to high quality means that everybody do you understand?
Right. I got you.
So my push has just been in the planning. You got to cast a vision for all.
Right.
And so, with the new superintendent, I've had the opportunity to sit down with her. My message is consistent. We need a plan to be able to show how students do not have to leave their home communities to be able to access high quality pre-K through 12 continuums.
Now, I want to push back a little on this one, because if you all have a lot of money, allotted money for a school, is it better to build one or take that money, divide it up, and rehab some of these schools? Or if say, okay, we're going to build one this year, then 2 or 3 years later we go somewhere else and build another school.
Yeah.
Because somebody's not going to be happy.
Right.
If somebody get a new school or somebody don't, if somebody's roof is falling in and somebody's is not falling in, how do we come to a middle ground to say, okay, yeah, y'all gonna get a new school, but we also going fix that roof?
Yeah.
Is the politics that deep into it? Or
let's go back to basketball. When a team wants new jerseys, you gonna get them jerseys, right?
Right.
How you gonna do it? If your home team ain't paying for it, you gonna get those jerseys, right? You're gonna be out there on the corner collecting that change. You're gonna go to these businesses. So my whole thing is, we need to cast vision first.
Gotcha.
Because if you tell Orange Mound that it is the lowest priority, baby, Orange Mound's gonna tell you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna tell you something else. They're gonna tell you something else. Yeah, they come
lowest priority according to how you want to put me. But baby, we're gonna figure out.
They're gonna make about 6 phone calls and it's gonna be packed.
Do you understand? So it's like, I think that we need to almost create the pressure of the priority. Right? So you say that we want to, I think we should just commit to the offering. Every student will be able to walk within 2 miles to a high quality performing pre-K through 12 continuum.
That costs much, but that means funds, right?
Just cast the vision.
Okay,
cast the vision.
I'm casting the vision.
Cast the vision, right? And then now set your priorities. Within fiscal year 1, we can do 2 schools. Within fiscal year
That's what
3, we can do 5. And
gotcha.
let people know where they fall on the slate. Do you
I
understand the
see what you're
difference
saying.
in that?
Okay, I see
Because
what you're
right
saying.
now, I had to vote on Frazier and Cordova getting it. Mind you, we had to create Cordova because Germantown kicked the black kids up out of
Right,
Germantown.
right, right, right,
Let's
right,
talk about it for what it is.
right, right,
So
right,
you said y'all need to get back over there into MSCS,
right,
and you created a $212 million priority
right.
in Cordova.
Mm-hmm.
So now students in Cordova, generally associated with more black affluence, get to jump the totem pole of priority than folks at Hamilton, folks at
Right.
Oak Haven, folks at Melrose. Is that fair? It's
No.
not, but we're making our families have to choose.
So,
And
but
so
this planning piece, if you saying, okay, year 1, these 2 schools,
slate
year
people.
3, we got this. So if we do that, that seems like that would bring more people to the table when you find out, okay, yo, my school, I got people over here in my community. It's like, but like you said, everybody may not be happy because they might not be first.
Yeah.
But if we cast the vision,
And that's
as you
the beautiful
said,
part.
hey, by year
Baby, I
7,
think that
you coming.
I long to see the day that we slate schools and Hamilton and Melrose are at the bottom. I think it would be so beautiful to see because with those powerful alumni networks, you wouldn't even whatever you had to give them in scraps. Just the fact that you would just singe the ego, they would go out and through the alumni network, the business community. I mean, all these networks are international. They will create their school, but we keep building for some and not all, and people have the hope of something that's never going to come for them. So you
I
need to
got you.
tell me, like, is it 5 years? Is it 20 years?
Right.
As a parent, I need to decide.
Right.
If I'm a Hamilton alumni and it is important for me to put my kid into my alma mater, but I see that in 20 years they're not going to have a high quality offering, now you got a new organizer.
There you go.
So we can't actually motivate our constituencies to get passionate about these issues because we do not have planning. Like, to me, it's a reason why you need visionary leaders.
Right.
It's a reason why you need strategists and planners.
And
so
that's sometimes we skip that part.
we always.
It's like we you send somebody who's a quote unquote influencer to come down, shiny suit, fresh haircut, look the part, and then like, yo, where's your plan at? What's up?
Do you know I call for plans every day and nobody produces any? Like, it was literally given to me like early on as an elected. It was like a couple months. I just had an epiphany and I was like, thank you, Lord, for this. He gave me a line of questions. What is the total population? What percent of the total population do you serve? How much of the funding are you receiving for service to said amount within the total population? So what we have here is you have people getting 100% of the funding for 5% of the service to the total population. If I serve 5%, I should only receive 5% of the funding.
Fact, that seems mathematically correct.
I mean, I'm just saying, don't send us to school to do math to
you
become
said
an
you
adult.
you said you was here to give an education lesson.
Because it's annoying to me for me to sit in MSCS and at the time MCS education to be groomed by high quality. I feel like our generation was the last of those career educators. When I was at Hanley Elementary, all my teachers were like 25, 30 years in. And so we got the best, good
right,
and seasoned.
Right.
And they were telling us who we were going to become. And so many of us have.
Do you remember some of your teachers from
Absolutely. Do we?
Come on, give me a name.
First of all, shout out to the Miss Ruby J. Payne, the best principal ever. If
Ruby
you know,
J.
you
Payne.
know. Yes.
Okay.
And then my favorite teacher, Miss Geraldine Morris.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Muhammad, Jabril World Institute. I'm just
Come on,
telling you.
you dropping receipts on
Let me tell you,
okay,
we got a whole Facebook group, everything.
Really?
But so many of our educators are passing away. We've had a series of deaths here recently. So I just say shout out to
all your educators.
Yes,
That's
we've
right,
had high quality educators. So they instilled
but you
in
remember
us.
it because the way you even the energy that you giving off talking about them lets me see the impact that they had.
Because they instill values in us to be the best. And we have. And so why would I ever come down and dilute myself? For who? For what game? For what political game?
Right.
So when I sit in my seat and there's a fury behind my voice, it's because it's an insult for me to be any less than what you taught me to be. Do you understand?
I understand. Come on now.
The math got a math for me. So rather than us just talking about, have you ever wondered why it is that our minority spend stays in that 20% threshold? So you mean
school us on to the people that's listening and looking in so they can relate to you. What does minority spend from your level mean?
So whenever, we have on the county commission, we have a $1.6 billion budget. On the school board,
1.6 billion.
billion,
Okay. Would it be?
billionaire with a B.
Uh huh.
The city has what, 800 million roughly is
Okay.
their budget, and then the school board, I mean, there are multiple billions.
Yeah, it was last. I remember it was 2.1 a year ago.
Let that sink in.
Right, 2.1.
So when you see people as adults really motivated by these processes, it's not about the kids and the families. It's about the contracts. You build a new school, who's building it? Right? You get new equipment, who you purchasing it from?
Ooh.
You get new water in the schools, who's the manufacturer and the distributor? This is money. All that money.
Those are questions the common person may not ask.
It's like we know it. That's the problem about it, is that when I come back, even down to the hood, talking to homeless people, I say these things and they get it because it makes sense when you just talk about it.
Right.
But we try to keep it, high level.
High
But
level.
when you just think about it, if it's a budget set every year, we're spending it down every year. Who you spending it with? It's going into a bank account, right?
Somebody's getting it.
So
Right.
what I'm saying is, in your county, 5% of the monies outside of the obligations that we have.
And the obligations is like the security, fire.
It's more of like things that aren't put out for contracts. So we do, we have expenditures in-house, and I'm trying to get the data on that. So on the county side, and this is why I love civics so much, but invite me to your church, your school, whatever. I love this.
Talking civic. Yeah, that's what we need.
It's so important. If it's above $50,000, your commission has to approve it. So this is contracting authority.
Okay.
All right. So
above 50,000.
Above 50,000. If John Best's contract was $50,000 and 1 cent, and the commission has to approve it.
And they got to ask me questions if need be.
You got to get 7 people to vote for your contract. That's beautiful to me because I love it in the hands.
That's cool. Yeah.
I love it in the hands of the legislative body. But what's interesting is on the city side, the mayor has contracting authority. So you have one man who's signing off on these checks. Oh. Okay, pay attention.
Is this fact? This is factual.
You bring somebody in to fact check it, okay?
Okay, yeah. Hit us up 901-881-0885.
Okay.
0885.
So
all right.
That's why it's interesting because you've always wondered how much does the city spend on contracting, right? And so on the county side, it's been an interesting exercise to break these contracts down. I make them tell me what are the demographics of the people who you notified, who responded, and who ultimately received the contract. Right. Overwhelmingly, we see that white males get the contracts in Shelby County. Right. I mean, we see representation from.
And the school board was in the school. It was the same before. Look, I remember that. Yeah.
It's the ways of the world, right?
Right.
And so it's just like in this ecosystem, though, I think that we need to push. We need to push towards what, in my mind, what is fair, proportionate. If we're 55% of the population, we get what? 55% of the carve out. And so, it's been interesting just to see how resistant we are even to the idea of a vision of proportionate spend. But I just think that in how we spend our monies, it needs to be fair. We know that the issues of crime and safety is connected to poverty.
That's right. Facts.
Memphis's issue is economic.
Yes, ma'am.
And you cannot tell me that we didn't produce what we are experiencing if we are not putting monies into our communities. When you are a small business owner, you are more likely to hire me.
Right.
Because you know me. When it comes down to referrals, you don't have to question, like, she put that person down. I'm like, I know that person. Right. I know that character. I know
everything about that.
Exactly, right? And so it's just like, that matters.
Right.
So we need to be able to share the dollars, spread the dollars. And it's just been going on for a very long time. And I'll just say this, every single day in my office in 1962, there's a picture on the wall, and it is only white males that set in motion this role that I sit in. Okay. Whether they were the best people or the worst people, they are going to do what is natural, which is serve their interests.
Right. And that's real what you're saying.
It doesn't have to be condemning at all. They're going to do what makes sense for them. Right. And so we now have these unprecedented bodies where you have majority women or you have a huge delegation. We have 8 out of 13 Black commissioners, 9 out of 13 Democrats, 7 out of 13 women on the commission, 5 of which the women are Black women.
You see how she just broke that down, ladies and gentlemen? I bet y'all didn't even know that. I like how you did that. It's something we don't know. And sometimes if we don't keep pushing it out there, we'll forever get the 5%. Because now I'm looking like, okay, man, wait a minute.
I want some of that money, right?
Because this is what hurts me. I get A lot of prominent black people, man, John, if you were white, man, you would be making more money and you would be somewhere else. And then it started to offend me because I said, what I know in my mind, it shouldn't matter whether, white or black. It's what I know.
Yeah.
But in some areas, in some gatekeeping is at play, you would think that's non-existent. But for them to even fix their mouth to say, man, if you were white, you probably be more. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But it's the world we live in,
Right.
and people are free to say what they want. But then you look and you say, 5% is the spend in our community,
in our predominantly minority community.
And it goes back to what we said in the beginning. Are we getting our paperwork right? Are we putting ourselves in position to go from 5 to 7%? If I'm just saying, if we just get the paperwork right, I know we can go higher, but I'm just saying we
John,
gotta
can you just
find
speak
ways.
higher? 5
okay, 10, 5 to 10, 5 to 15, 5 to 20.
Look at John, 5 to 55.
5 to 50. Okay,
just go there,
let's
y'all.
do that.
Go there.
Let's go there.
What's holding us back? Just even cast vision for the best.
Right.
I just think that we're hovering in this low vibrational space. Like, we need to go ahead and speak proportionate, because there's a piece of this where we don't even feel like we can fulfill the gap.
That's true. That's true. Because I was thinking, I said, man, can we do that? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But if we've been constantly, y'all not doing
if you've
nothing.
been constantly and that's going back, that's what kickstarted this. Because if you look at the data, and I saw the same thing, I was a reading teacher, and my proficiency goals were always around 30%. And I told myself, I said, I'm going to be a reading teacher. Say I'm a career educator. You're always going to tell me that my goal should only be 30% of my students will be proficient in this subject.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that not increase over time? So why would we ever only in perpetuity give 20% of the monies for minorities? That doesn't make sense to me. And the beautiful thing, y'all, is y'all got to come out tomorrow to get this training, because the more people that get certified, it increases the goals on our projects. Wow. Let me say that again.
Say it again.
The more people that come out and get certified, when we have contracts that are up for bid, we set our MWBE spend goals on the demand. So you can't show disparity until there is an overwhelming amount of people who are not getting contracts. Do you understand?
Yes, man. Yes.
So all these people, if you are in construction, get your butt up tomorrow and get on out from 1 to 3.
Listen what she's saying, y'all. Listen what she's saying.
We have so many. We are building major capital projects. You're talking about a new Regional 1 $1 billion project, multiple schools, $200 million projects, and the desire to build more schools. There's conversations about us. We need a new 201. We need a jail, another $1 billion project. If this ecosystem does not start cultivating builders, Shelby County should be exporting talent. Every single school, these CTE programs, these trades. And you said something really brilliant earlier. I sat down with the president of the University of Memphis, and I said, why don't we create a pathway for people to go from the trades into a business degree at the University of Memphis? Right. Because when you come down to vie for a contract, your business is coming down.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So you can be a skilled tradesperson, but not have business savvy. We got to be thinking that through.
Right.
If we want to get people in position for contracts, you got to build out these pipelines. So from the neighborhood level, you were able to stay in your neighborhood, be supported, access a high quality school because your MSCS had vision. You go through it, you come in contact with some high quality skills, training. I mean, what does it hurt for us all to have a skill, right?
Come on now.
You can go to school and be an urban planner and then also be a plumber. That's your hustle. When you leave class, you going and you servicing people.
Right. Don't put us in a box. Yeah.
Do you understand?
You labeling me just a one dimension.
And if you want to carry on with your skill, then go ahead and matriculate into programming that will get your business set up so you can get certified and you can get these contracts. We see where minorities are falling off in the process. They say because they have to select their commodity code for what they can do. That's how they get notified. Okay. When we have an opportunity, we post it. And we say who we posted to, you said you could do it. So that's how that works.
Okay.
What we see the breakdown is that the people who actually apply, you don't see the same number of people actually feel. I don't know. We're trying to figure that part out. Why is it that more people as minorities don't apply? But when minorities apply, they have ineligible bills. I saw something in our last meeting. What? It was 9 people who responded to the bid.
Okay.
7 of them were deemed ineligible.
What?
9 people. Follow. I'm such a teacher. It's crazy. I really need to get back in the classroom. It's
Come
9
on back
people.
now. Uh-huh.
Well, you know,
Okay, yeah,
I
okay,
can't be
yeah.
your teacher or your commissioner, baby. I gotta try to live.
Okay.
9, and I mean just live just in energy. Like
Uh-huh.
literally just this is exhausting work. 9 people responded. 7 of them were minorities. Every single minority was deemed ineligible in that bid. The
Because
ultimate
paperwork.
because of what? That's the question. Government has to ask this question. So I've just opened up a line of question to reveal this gap, but I'm asking the same thing y'all should be asking. What happened with these minorities? Why would they all be? It was Asian females, it was Hispanic males, it was a lot of
But it
diversity
was
in there.
people that had the potential to win the bid, but they was 7 of them that were deemed ineligible.
Because we got to get our stuff together. Do you understand?
Understood.
Opportunities are here. What concerns me is that we ain't talking about stuff we hope for. We are creating $1 billion opportunities here.
Mm.
Y'all gotta listen, and you gotta get your butt out there tomorrow, Saturday, from 1 to 3 in Orange Mound, right?
Right,
So
right,
when
right.
these opportunities are built for you to learn, you gotta come out. Even if you're not quite there, just see kind of where you want to be.
See,
You
right. It's
know,
like, yeah, like, come on now. And it's not a cheat code, ladies and gentlemen, but it's the real code. Like, if you follow these steps, you have the potential to be a winning bidder. If you follow the steps and do what you're supposed to do.
and there's always someone who's threatened in this work. Well, let me just go back and say the 2 that actually were successful to be able to bid on the contract were 2 white male companies. So we went to 2 white males. The ultimate person that won the bid was a white male company,
Gotcha.
and we see that consistently. That the folks who can compete.
Since you've been there.
Oh, for sure. I've been doing this. I promise you. I believe in open government, so I bring all this stuff to the floor. Everything you're broadcasting, I make sure not to let it fall in committee. Because I don't believe that citizens should have to come. Our meetings run like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, right? What does that look like to make you have to work a full day and then tune into us for a full 8 hours? So I bring it to the meeting that I think y'all will come to, which is the main meeting where all of my colleagues are there, and I make them report these things out to you. I literally pull it from that was another thing, give it to me. Let me tell you, God has been real good because he's given me vision for how to do this role. So the consent agenda was something that was a part of the process.
Okay.
When you go to committee, the biggest contracts are discussed at 8:30 in the morning on our Wednesday meetings.
Okay.
So if there is,
it's okay for you to say that you're not giving us exclusive information.
this is public. I
Okay,
work
okay.
for
I just want
y'all.
to make sure. I mean, because you giving us some key information.
I'm just working hard for y'all, so I just want to let y'all know when you coming for me, it's all on public record because I put it out there. So
Yes.
committee, 8:30 in the morning is when we discuss things, right? And oftentimes it'll be like a couple of my colleagues there, probably like 6 to 7 of us. We got 13 people. So when they come, we vote, and oftentimes it's voted with favorable recommendation. So what that means is at the beginning of every commission meeting, we have a consent agenda. That means that we're not going to discuss those things. They were already approved in committee. They just get swept through. So what I started to notice, it took me about 4 months to actually figure out, whoa, this is where the breakdown is. Those biggest contracts aren't being discussed. That handful, that 6 to 7 delegation of my colleagues, because not everybody's always in committee, is able to vote on something. And it's not like it's bad. It's just, I'm like, we ain't discussing. I'm looking to see like millions of dollars given away. I'm like, who's it going to? Like, I want to know where we at. And so now every single time I see a contract over 500,000, I pull it from the consent agenda. It is my prerogative as a commissioner to be able to discuss any item that has previously been put on this consent agenda. In doing that, I now have us discuss every single contract. Again, I want to know how many people were notified, how many people responded to the notice, and who ultimately got it.
Wow. I mean, doing this type of work, I mean, like you said, it's exhausting, but how do you're in the seat, and it seems like a lot of politics is involved, and they say all politics is local. That's what I've been told. But it's like you have to talk to this person that may be Republican or white male or Hispanic male or Hispanic woman. You may not see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, is it for you to always find common ground, some shape or form, or is it my way or no way? But it seems like in politics, you got to give and get. What's been keeping you at this pace that you're on right now? Because you have to talk to people on the other side and people that may not look like you.
It's tough.
It's tough. Yes, ma'am.
It's tough just for me because I'm unrelenting. And so we as a body, you have to move with six other people in addition to you. If you feel passionate about something, you got to get six other people to see the vision. And so I can't say that I'm good at that. You know, I have taken a lot of L's in this role. Sometimes I think that I'm speaking ahead of like these existing generations' understanding because I make the argument that the millennials are the forgotten generation. Again, I was at home and it was given to me. I'm looking at headlines where 13, 14, and 15-year-olds are out here committing crimes. Let's do the math. If it's a 15-year-old, 20 years plus, that's going to make a 35-year-old mama, right?
Right.
That's a millennial. Okay, go up 5 years, 40-year-olds. That's a millennial. Do you understand?
This is true.
So that's my generation. I'm the only black millennial on our body. That's one vote. So if you're listening in, and millennials are the largest voter block. I mean, when you get down into the nitty gritty, like millennials, if we would just rise up and just vocalize and figure out how we feel on things. I'm sorry, Gen X and Gen Z. Yeah, Gen X, Gen Z, and boomers. Like y'all are gonna have to listen to what we say. And so, where are the millennials? Is the big question. What's interesting is
where they at? Where they at?
What's interesting is when we came back home, y'all told us we didn't want to come back to the hood. You told us that we didn't want to be homeowners, and then here it is, this little girl from Orange Mound, right, where homeownership was all my elders talked about. So you can't tell me that narrative because my elders told me that's the pride and joy of life, to be a homeowner. You understand? Right. So it's like we got to reject these narratives to come up with our own agendas, which is why Plans and Partnerships conference tomorrow from 9 to 4.
You see how she tied that in there? You see how she did that?
I learned from the best.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
come on out. We got to make some plans.
But check this out. Somebody sends in something. This is Brittany. This is Joseph Crawwell. We worked together at our neighborhood grocery when we were high schoolers. It is a blessing to listen to you now and hear about your work to brighten and transform beautiful Memphis through juice. Continue to fight the good fight. Best wishes always. Then somebody said, hey team, I am about to get on public transportation for an evening event. Can call when I get off this situation. All right, well, let's call when you can, man. But see, you got people coming in here talking about folks that work with you when you was high schoolers.
High school.
You remember this guy? Is he telling facts?
For sure. What was it? Cooper's Neighborhood Supermarket.
Really?
We were making $5.15 an hour.
And was that okay back then?
It was enough to pay my cricket bill, baby. And so shout out to Joe. He's great. It's just great. It's great to see. This is the 10th year that I've been home since grad school.
Okay.
And so when I left, I just knew I wanted to stay in Philadelphia. It made a huge impression on me. And so to be back home and to be like, as a young person, this change shouldn't take 10 years. Imagine how many college students are saying, change don't have to take a long time,
Right,
and here I am in my 10th year, and I'm looking at my neighborhood like, man, change really does take 10 years. Shoot, it might take 15, 20 years.
Right. So what do you see, like, what do you see next? Or like, what's one of your, goals that you would like to see? Or one of the boxes that you would like to put a check in that box? What would you like to do?
Well, I could just say great people of Shelby County. My greatest goal has been accomplished, to be in your presence again.
Girl, look at her. She's showing out.
I am happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that you're a really great questioner.
You think so?
I think so. I know so.
See, and people say, well, John, where your questions at? I said, I'm forming my questions from the very moment you said you want to be on my show.
Yeah.
So I study folks' social media. I see what they about, and I peep them just to see, because once you sit down, if your energy right, you rolling.
Yeah.
And then I see that your energy a little shaky. Oh, you ain't ready. You ain't ready for this. So I got to change the questions.
Yeah.
Because if I go there with you, you may not be ready to go there.
Yeah.
Because some people come in here thinking that they all that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But if I ask you something and you got to be like, well, can I get back to you? Or if you have a business and I ask you a question about your business, and you fumbling through note cards and stuff, it's like, if it's your business, you should be able. I can wake you up at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
You tell me about it. That's how I feel. If you got a question about anything in this building, I'm gonna be able to give you an answer without
Yeah.
well, let me get back to you. No, give me the answer.
Yeah.
Because you say that you love this work and this is the work that you do.
Yeah.
You should be able to let the people know what you're about.
Yeah.
Because when they get up here, they think they want to get on the platform. If it's about self, it's not going to be successful.
Yeah.
It got to be about what are you doing? Like you just said, you got an event tomorrow that's going to help, that can help the community.
Yeah.
If it was somebody up here, yeah, my grandmother, we selling fish plates because the church want to get a new bus. This is not the platform for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even with some parties, we don't promote parties up here unless it's something for teachers, something that's going to build something where it's community instead of, yeah, we trying to raise $20,000. And I say, for what? Like you, when you
Yeah.
say, where's this $20,000 going?
Yeah.
Is it going to somebody's pocket? Or we trying to rehab a basketball court or build a tech center?
Yeah.
But so that's why I love what I do.
Yeah.
But I don't like when people try to play me and say, well, and I made a post this morning, John, you just on a little radio station. When they say Lil,
Not
that
love.
LL, that LIL before any noun, that's hate. Just I'm gonna tell you that. They say, oh, Brittany, you and that little meeting y'all having tomorrow, that ain't about nothing. But in their mind, they hate because you giving the community an opportunity
Yeah.
to have a nice career. If this is what type of business you want to get into, this is how you become a successful business.
Yeah.
But when they say, Juice, little Juice ain't doing nothing over there, and wait, hold up, ain't nothing little about what we do,
Yeah.
But that's all. It's just I really take pride in this, and I don't play with the people's ears.
Yeah.
We
feel
can't.
that thought though. I just want you to know, like, I really want to big up you in the most sincere way because I'm a fan, and you see so many people who just do it superficially.
Right.
There's so much depth to what you're doing here, and it's such a powerful platform. And if there's anything I can do to help expand your footprint or get you some new equipment in here, this chair look a little.
Yeah. We need help. We need help. Come on, Brittany. We need help.
We might need to pack out the
Come on.
school board to get them a new chair.
Hey,
Okay?
come on now. Look. But the thing is, I understood and I understand. You know this. When you know the funds, we really don't have it in certain cases.
Yeah.
We say we don't have it. I had to make do with what I had. So now when I do speak, and I may be speaking at this upcoming school board committee meeting, then that's when I can say, for the past 5 years, I haven't asked for anything.
Yeah.
Because I understand we got to fill these classrooms. It's certain things that we need. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But when I do come to the table and say, yo, it's our 50th year anniversary of broadcasting. It would be nice to have a new studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New just some new stuff. Because I want to build a state-of-the-art facility so that during the day we teach children, and in the evening we can teach parents.
Yes.
And elderly. This information is for everybody.
Yeah.
I want to teach people about AI.
Yeah.
Come on now. We got things we can do, but it takes those funds.
Shout out to Cam, your weatherman, right?
Yeah, Cameron Kirkendall.
Yeah.
The youngest meteorologist in Memphis Shelby County Schools history.
District 10.
District 10, baby. Okay.
Because
yes.
we produce.
Yes. And I gotta shout out Dr. Champion, because Dr. Champion was the one who told me, Brother John, I got a young man.
Mm.
He's a fireball.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, bring him next week. He came up next week and he knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, you're gonna be with me. And now he's interviewed so many powerful people. And when he interviewed Fred Smith from FedEx, I'm just sitting there in the back like, look at this young kid.
We're in good hands.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need to duplicate that. But I appreciate, and I don't take what you say lightly. I'm just not used to people telling me to my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, and I try to strive to continue to keep making y'all happy out here.
You do.
So what's your message to the little Brittanys that are in Memphis Shelby County schools? If you can go back and tell yourself something, what would you tell her? What would you say to the young Brittangy Thornton?
Okay, it's a little left, but I would say save yourself.
Save yourself.
Save yourself. Because the little Brittany was sold a lot, right? And Big Brittany is looking like Everything y'all said it was gonna be, it is not. Okay.
Mm.
All right. The
Mm.
solidarity. I mean, at Hanley Elementary, they made me think like, to
You
be
was the
black,
world. Right.
man,
Right.
who's
Right.
gonna stop you?
Right.
Now,
Wow.
as Big Brittany is like, the people that give me the most grief, they look like me, okay?
Right. Right.
And so it's
The
just
same thing.
like,
I gotta agree with you on that one.
I'm like, Lord, little Brittany, just know it's gonna be a little bit more rough than what you thought it would be.
Right.
But the great thing is that, we as a people, I love the court of public opinion
Mm-hmm.
because we default towards sensible.
Mm-hmm.
We default towards good. We
Mhm.
default towards just like the greater capacities,
Mhm.
And so that's why I love to get things on the floor, because I feel like if we get it to the floor and we get into the will of the citizens of Shelby County, they'll do what's right. And
Wow.
so, if you just let all decisions be made by 14 people, your 13 commissioners plus your mayor, that's just this little small percent, of what's possible when it's in the hands of a million,
Right.
And so yeah, you asked a question earlier about like, what am I working on? So I would like to just talk about that
Go
just
ahead.
for a
Let's
second.
go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So
Let's do
y'all,
it.
I'm into ecosystems these days. Like, I am in the process of asking you to support me to stand up what I'm calling the Neighborhood Ecosystem Fund. So communities like Orange Mound, we have 40% vacancy. And what
Okay.
really is fascinating to me,
40% vacancy for homes.
that means Orange Mound is Snaggletooth right now.
Wow.
You go and it's just like, it's a house here, it's 3 lots here, a house, 2 more lots. Like, it's just a
Gotcha.
very Snaggletooth community. So I talk about Orange Mound a lot because I know for a fact that on the south side of town, once Orange Mound gets it, everybody eating. You can't tell
Wow.
me that Orange Mound, a high performing Orange Mound, isn't going to benefit Cherokee. You can't say that. You can't tell me that a high performing Orange Mound isn't going to benefit Bethel Grove.
Right.
So it's like we focus on Orange Mound because we know that it is a strategic investment that the surrounding communities will benefit from also. So it's also the highest turnout location within my district. So in terms of District 10, we're isolating this to District 10 politics right now. It's very important that Orange Mound prospers. And so the Ecosystem Fund is great. It's a 0% loan that will be extended to construction companies. So you talked about Dwayne Jones. We have
Right.
Howard Eddings with NHL Management.
Okay.
I just saw Roshan. She posted about another brother who's building an Orange Mound. We got a
Roshan, is she doing something in North Memphis?
yeah.
Gotcha,
That's what I'm
gotcha.
saying. Like, you got major players that are doing this across the city, but on our side of town, it's like, what's going on? What's up?
Yeah, where
And
the bill?
so
Where we at?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm just like, that was me year one. I'm like coming in with my big ego,
You ready?
and then I'm like, dang, African refugees got more than my district.
Right.
Why? Because they pull my monies. We won't talk about that, but you can see it.
Little Orange Mound. That's that Little Orange Mound talk.
Would nobody ever say Little Orange Mound? First of all, let it be home. It's Orange Mound ain't paying attention, right?
Yeah,
That's why
okay.
this conference is happening, because I know for a fact that once we set our agenda, tell Orange Mound no. Now you bring me back so we can talk about that process of telling Orange Mound no.
Okay, all right, that'll be the next one.
I don't recommend it. Okay,
we'll pencil that in.
But this fund, it's a 0 interest loan. It's going to the builders, and that's important because so many people aren't bankable.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, why would I own a parcel for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years and not have it making money for me? Ain't that counterintuitive to you? That doesn't make sense, right?
Doesn't make sense.
Because who don't want to make money? I own the lot. I got sense to pay the taxes on the lot, but not yield an income from it.
Ooh, that's another
So
conversation.
I'm about to chase these parcel owners to say, listen, are you trying to get passive income or not? Because I thought that you got the lot to build generational wealth.
That's what we say now.
Okay, it's grass cutting season, and as someone who knows, because that's the first thing they do in politics, to put your stuff out there on Front Street.
Mm-hmm.
To which I say, I'm a first generation wealth builder. Why would I not own lots? My grandma didn't leave a will.
Right.
My mama already said she not putting me in her will. She feel like I got too much, by the way. It's not because she mean, but I'm just like, if my kids are to have something, I'm gonna have to produce it. Right?
It's true.
And we're supposed to be receiving what generations prior to us have given to us. So it's so many of us that have been given nothing. We got to sit up here, learn this stuff, and then set up future generations.
So that this can change, this narrative can change.
That's the millennial energy. So when a millennial tells you, like, hear me, we went off as one of the most educated generations, and we're coming back. And every pricing threshold that you have, we're above it. So we don't qualify for the breaks for your pre-K. We don't qualify for, like we're priced out of everything, which makes us educated, but also the working poor. You wouldn't know looking at me that I have $200,000 worth of loans. You'll hear me talk about my Ivy League degree, but you won't hear me talk about that borderline depression from having to know that payments are going to be due soon.
But don't you fall in Biden's
Baby,
that
let me just tell
college
you this.
that loan forgiveness and all that?
Y'all can play around with $20,000 worth of loans. Since I graduated, I think I graduated with actual outright $134,000. That compounding interest is eating me up. So that $20,000, that was already money that you just played around with anyway. So I'm just like, I can't, unless you're talking about absolute forgiveness, like the loan thing.
So that's a different. So the wording, when you just said absolute forgiveness, that means everything.
Take it away. Take it off my back.
So with this loan forgiveness, if you read the fine print, it's a different situation.
Yeah, I've heard some people, I don't know what's going on. Listen, that's one thing as a millennial person for me, that's where I draw the line. Whatever they're going to do with these loans, I'm like, it's so stressful to think about. But I just want people to know. Like when people project onto you, they're like, oh, John Bessie's so confident. He ain't never got no, like we're people. We're people, right? And so it's just like $200,000 worth of loans is on top of me right now. As someone who was told at a very young Brittany age, go off and be great. Represent your people. Go learn.
Degree,
exactly.
Right.
Get that knowledge. Knowledge is power. Bring it back to your people, right?
Yep.
And so you go do that, and it costs to go to Baylor University. It costs to go to the University of Pennsylvania. Right. And you come back home, and your teachers want to pay you what?
Yeah.
Right?
40,000, 50,000.
And while we talking about it, Shelby County wants to pay you what? I'm pushing for a wage study right now because the majority of workers from Shelby County are black women. Some of which who've worked for the county for 20 years still making $16 an hour.
Don't tell me that.
I'm not kidding. So
it's like everything needs to be relooked at, like on all levels.
Instead of looking at what you're looking at, you need to be looking at your government. Okay, you need to come civics.
We need to push that civic. We need to push that, like, because and I know the people that's listening are appreciating what you're telling us, but it just seemed like, when all of us that went to school and had civics, it was like, yeah, okay. But now civics is the biggest thing going, because that's where all the decisions are made. That's where these potholes get fixed and, blight in the neighborhoods. It's like, but if you never been to a county commission meeting, a city council meeting, a school board, and you complaining, I can't even listen to you because you don't even really know what's going on. You're going off what they say on the news and on somebody's Facebook page. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes down in the county commission meeting, the Memphis City Council meeting, and the Shelby County School Board. Those 3 meetings, if you at least rotate them once a month and go to one, you're going to get a wealth of information. And young people, if you study these meetings, like she said, you can set yourself up for $1 million situation if you really listening and taking care of what you're supposed to be doing.
That's people talk about, there are a lot of people, you have your supporters, but you also have your haters. The people who can't stand me are envious of what I know. But I tell you, those meetings were free. My posture of just showing up, like literally, I put more obligation on me to just show up. In all of these meetings, you see the players, right? They're right there. They're accessible. You can go find John in the community, right? All the people that roll up and through here, they have to coordinate with you. So they're in your Rolodex. Right. So why would I not? I might just start stalking you in meetings just to figure out how. I'm going to go back and figure out, oh, John had that person on there, and it's the same thing with your electeds. We are out and about. All this information now is coming to me as a commissioner. It is so fruitful, but the difficulty is that as a commissioner, it's a part-time job. So, it's unrealistic for me to piece together everything. I just don't have the capacity. On the commission side, it's 2 commissioners to 1 person. You might think that I have a full support staff behind me, multiple people. I go to other counties and, in Texas, they got like 4 or 5 people working for a commissioner. I have half an assistant. So all the work that you usually hear me talking about, feel the overtime. I'm clocking in, and it's just not practical. So that's why, when you think about what we can do, I do have a sense of grace for my colleagues because majority of us are working a full-time job in addition to being your commissioner. Right. So it is a labor of love, and it can be so much of an easier load. One of my friends, Tamarcus Porter, he's running for school board, and he told me, he said, there's a difference between being a representative and being a leader.
Right.
They elect us to be representatives, but we are in a posture to be a leader, and that's where it's falling apart. So tomorrow, I'm coming up to the 38114, 38111 neighborhoods to say, what are your plans so I can represent you? Because my year one, I tried to be your leader and I failed because I couldn't do it for everybody. But I know that if I represent you in year two, we're going to get some capital going into our communities. And my mentor says the garden grows where capital flows.
The garden grows where capital flows.
You got to get money into these communities to make them look differently.
Right.
It's been 10 years. Orange Mountains look the same. And actually, I was born in 89. Orange Mountain looked the same as when we grew up. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy. And I'm glad you brought all this up, because what I would like to do is I want you to recommend the next commissioner to come. I don't care what side of the fence, what color, whatever.
Yeah.
Because what you gave us tonight, it was a schooling. Because some people, they don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
If they don't go to the meetings, they definitely don't know. If they don't see what's going on in their community, they don't know.
Yeah.
So imagine if we have eventually touch all of the commissioners to be able to talk about their district and what they're doing. Just like you, it's like a cookie cutter. Okay, now you on. Let's talk about you. What you do. What do you want to see? And then now people that's watching and listening, man, I might need to come to a meeting. I want to see what's going on. So I'll let you think about that and just, let me know, get a name, and we'll work on that, because now each of the commissioners have a voice.
Yeah.
But if we don't know how many districts y'all got?
We have 13.
13. So we don't know who District 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I need to be schooled. You see what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's why civics is very important. That's about voting. We're going to have a presidential election coming up soon. We got a school board election coming up soon. We got to know these things. We don't know about the 2-year cycle, 3. We need to get schooled up. We need to get re-schooled over again.
Yeah,
that's for real. So, thank you, ma'am. Is there anything else you want to shout out? Anybody? Any message for our young people? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Go back to that neighborhood ecosystem fund, because I'm going to need y'all support. There's going to be a day where I'm going to say, go back. I'm gonna CC this this message.
Right.
I'm gonna find this little live, and then I'm gonna say, y'all, I need your support, because I'm lobbying for funds for this fund. So when you give that low interest loan, they build those homes, right? Your schools are under enrolled because parents are struggling to get back into the neighborhoods. These urban core communities, there's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. That doesn't fit the modern family's appetite. Back in the day, our elders said they had 12 folks in 2-bedroom houses, and they were grateful to go from the outhouse into the house.
Right.
Now, when we have these aged housing stocks, it is a actual constraint to be able to draw families back into the communities that we know and love. Look at the houses around Hamilton. Look at the houses around Orange Mound. Look at the houses around BTW. Go into these traditional Black spaces. We got to figure out how to strategically do something with the housing stock. That's why I focus on housing, transit, and economic development in that order. I can't talk about getting you a job when you couch surfing every night. Housing is very important.
Very important.
And so you get the house built, you get the family in there. Remember, I was babysitting a lot. So you done put a house on here, you giving me passive income, I'm good, right? It's better than what I ever thought.
Right.
Because the bank wasn't fooling with me. But now that you have an asset, the bank will bank that asset and it replenishes the fund. And we're able to put that loan out again and build another house and get another family in. So I think it's transformative. It's called the Neighborhood Ecosystem Fund. It's coming to District 10 and hopefully Shelby County after we show the best practice. And I'm just excited. It also will build up our trade network. We work with our schools. Imagine if Melrose was supplying the skilled laborers to build the houses again.
Right. That's heaven. That's Wakanda.
That's what Orange Mound used to be. We were a community that built itself, right? So it's going back.
You hitting us with the history lesson.
It's going
too?
back, right?
Gotcha.
Going
Yes,
back to
ma'am.
1890 when we already did it. So, we don't have to question whether we can. We just need to do it again.
So wait. I got to end this, but take me back. So if it was Orange Mound, Tennessee, how did it go from Orange Mound, Tennessee to Orange Mound community in the city of Memphis? What happened?
John, I went around. I was born in '89, so some of these questions you got to talk to Mary Mitchell about.
Somebody hit me up. Y'all that know this city and know everything. Because everybody kept saying Orange Mound, Tennessee. I said, well, then what happened if it was Orange Mound, Tennessee, its own city?
Yeah.
What happened? Because if they were building their own,
Yeah.
they built their own city, I'm sure somebody probably was hating and was like, no, we got to break that up. We can't let that expand because then they won't need us to come in with the contracts and let me shut up. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
That's deeper than
you
my pay
did,
grade.
but you did, you picked my mind when you said that because I never heard the city that built its own. Like they built it from within.
We were the first black development here. Wow. 982 lots going for $40 to a developer who was overzealous, who was on assignment not to sell to black people, and for whatever reason went against that. Started selling them for $40 a lot and built the development of Orange Mound. Where I live right now, on my assessor's site, on my little, your little card you get when it's time to pay your taxes, my subdivision is Orange Mound because it's actually in the original grid of the 982 lots. The neighboring subdivision has just a couple of streets up. It's a different name for their subdivision.
Wow.
Right. So it's just like
you really in the history. You really
that's
there.
That's why it was so. It was
there.
It was so important to me to move back into the house I'm in now. So I live in Orange Mound. Every single day I bring this passion because it's my neighbors that I'm passing by. So it's deeply personal for me. But again, anyone who's tired of me saying Orange Mound, understand that I'm operating on the premise that when Orange Mound gets it, because our dynamics are so unique, I truly believe we need to focus on Orange Mound so that so many others can build themselves up because we're the hub, the spoken wheel, we are the part that is going to center this work. And imagine, how many people are going to say, dang, they doing it over Orange Mound. Why we can't do it? Right?
We can't do it. Right.
Orange Mound is a powerful place, and we just need to rally around it. So I hope to see people turn out tomorrow. If you can't come,
what's the time?
It's a full day conference, so it's 9 to 4 p.m.
All right, now get some rest, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta go do some work, so it's just like I'll see you at 9 a.m. We're gonna have light breakfast. We'll have lunch. We're actually gonna have an elected official panel. Okay. So all of the representatives that represent Orange Mound and Congressman Cohen's office emailed me today asking for the address. So
you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
All right. Well, look, I appreciate you, Commissioner Thornton, for stopping by and having this long overdue conversation. I think this is an excellent conversation that we need to continue with all of our community leaders at the commission and also kickstart this with the city council because our people got to know who are representing them. Yeah. I don't think a lot of our people know. We see a face, we hear a name. Some people just don't know. Yeah. And I think by you coming here tonight is going. I wanna make that a reality. All so right. Thank you so much.
It is done. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, it's like I'm ready to go home now. She done came here and dropped several mics, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you all for listening. Brother John, I have about 35 minutes before I get out of here and kick off my weekend. But I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation with Shelby County Commissioner Brittangy Thornton. And I'm really touched by the stuff that she shared, and I hope you are too. Y'all keep it locked. We are 88.5 FM.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man, Kavon J, and I'm here to tell you about the new number.
What is your number?
901.